the supreme god of East Semitic speakers in Mesopotamia's early dynastic period. Among the Hittites, he was known as Elkanurisa. Linguistic form and meaning. Cognate forms of El are found throughout the Semitic languages. They include Ugaritic, Phoenician. Oh wait, hold on. Ugaritic. I think it says Ilu, plural. Oh, Ilu. I'm, which makes sense because I am. Phoenician, which is I'm. Hebrew El. Aromatic, looks like Akkadian, Elanu, yeah. In the Northwest, Semitic use El was a generic word for any god as well as the special name or title of a particular god who was distinguished from other gods as being the god. El is listed as the head of many pantheons, excuse me, is listed as the head of many pantheons. In some Canaanite and Ugaritic sources, El played a role as father of the gods of creation or both. However, because the word El sometimes refers to a god other than the great god El, it is frequently ambiguous as to whether El followed by another name means the great god. El with a particular epithet. Let me see. Epithet. 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 Applied or refers to another god entirely. For example, in the Ugaritic text, ill milk is understood. Oh, what happened just here?
Yeah, no, that's pretty crazy.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, you're moving it. I was reading it off of yours. Hold on. When you started moving, I was just like, wait a minute. It's all so confusing. Man. Hold on. It's understood to mean El the king, but has the god, but Il HD as the god had it. And then the Semitic root, is that Li? May be with a parasitic H, and I may be abbreviated form of Li, or is that an I or L? I guess it looks like an L though. Yeah, so it'll be Li. In Ugaritic, the plural form meaning gods is Ilhim, equivalent to Hebrew Lohim. Oh, I know that word.
Yeah.
Powers.
So, Elohim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't always. Yeah, Lum. Yeah, they say that in their prayers. Yep. And I studied. Well, yeah. Anyway, in the Hebrew text, the word is interpreted as being semantically singular for God by biblical commenters. Wait, slow down.
I know.
Okay. However, you're good. I'm gonna finish this and then you can go. However, the documentary hypothesis developed originally in the 1870s identifies these that different authors, the Jawiz, Elohist, Deuteronomist, and the priestly source, were responsible for editing stories from a polytheistic religion into those of a monotheistic religion. Inconsistencies that arise between monotheism and polytheism in the text are reflective of this hypothesis. The stem Li is found, or El, is found prominently in the earliest strata of each Semitic, Northwest Semitic, and South Semitic groups. Personal names include the stem El and are found with similar patterns in both Amorite and Sabaic.
Yeah. No, right there, it just, I mean, for me, you have to kind of be careful about all that, you know what I mean? Because, like, people like to tippy-toe around the religions and stuff, so this is...
Because if you say something wrong or it sounds like it could be offensive, but nowadays I don't even understand how religion is still something that's off limits, because You know what I mean? It's like I feel like we're protecting it, quote unquote, for a reason. Because look at how
Yeah.
much stuff that is not protected. Sexuality is not protected, you know, and human rights in general are not protected. But when it's religion, it's whoa, 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 be careful there. It's like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Now, the Taoist or Yahwist, often abbreviated J, is one of the most widely recognized sources of the Pentateuch, the Torah, together with the Deuteronomist, the priestly source, and the Elohist. The existence of the Taoists is somewhat controversial, with a number of scholars. So I'm going to stop there. According to the documentary Hypothesis, the Elohist is one of the four source documents underlying the Torah, together with the Taoist, the Deuteronomist, and the priestly source. The Elohist is so named because of its pervasive use of the word Elohim to refer to the Israelite God. And that's the Elohist. And then the Deuteronomist, abbreviated as either DTR or simply D, may refer either to the source document underlying the core chapters 12 through 26 of the book of Deuteronomy, or to the broader school that produced all of Deuteronomy, as well as the Deuteronomistic history of Joshua, Judges, and Samuel and Kings. And the priestly source. The priestly source is perhaps the most widely recognized of the sources underlying the Torah. It is both stylistic and theologically distinct from other material in the Torah, and includes a set of claims that are contradicted by non-priestly passages and therefore uniquely characteristic. So that's just briefly what they were talking about there. Now you stopped at hypothesis, right?
No, at the bear.
You went.
The Egyptian god.
Oh, okay. So you went. I can barely hear you. What did you say?
I have carrots in my mouth. Hold on.
Oh,
okay. I've been eating carrots like I told you, like I'm Bugs Bunny lately. But it's no, the Egyptian god, is it Ptah?
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, that's where we start.
All right. Now the Egyptian god Ptah is given the title Gu-Giti, Lord of Gath or Goth, in a prism from Tel Lachish, which has on its opposite face the name of Amenhotep II in circa 1435 through circa 1420 BCE. The title Du-Giti is also found in Sarabit text, or Sarabit text 353, and that's from Cross 1973 on page 19. Points out that Ptah is often called the Lord or One of Eternity, and thinks it may be the identification of El with Ptah that led to the epithet. Olam, eternal, being applied to El so early and so consistently. However, in the Ugaritic text, Ptah is seemingly identified rather with the craftsman god Kother wa Kassis. Yet another connection is seen with the Mendaean angel Ptah or Ptahil, whose name combines both the terms Ptah and Il. like right there, they're not basically saying that they're the same God. That kind of goes with what we were talking about earlier, where they kind of incorporate two gods together to create one, kind of like Transformers.
Yeah, yeah. We're from different areas, but the timeline doesn't add up.
Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of make that clear, like they didn't get Toth or Ptah, I should say, from the Canaanites, according to them. And Ptah actually is a different entity than Toth. I don't even know why I was thinking about that. Yeah, Ptah. Now, Ptah is the ancient Egyptian deity, a creator god and patron deity of craftsmen and architects. In the triad of Memphis, he is the husband of Sekhmet and the father of Nefertim. He was also regarded as the father of the sage Imhotep.
And then Tawadas is who Toth is, so maybe that what Tawadas did was the reason you got Ptah and Toth, who would technically be Tawadas, kind of interchange. Maybe that's why you were thinking that.
Yeah. Well, in the freaking, I guess I can call it the Book of the Dead, but in that, with their burial thing, they're always talking about Ptah on there too. So like whenever they said Ptah, all of a sudden something in my head clicked, you know what I mean? So that's a crazy thing how my mind works when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like Ptah is really predominant in Egyptian history. Like when I hear it, it sticks out, So, okay, in an inscription in the Proto-Sinaitic script, William F. Albright transcribed the phrase LDLM, which he translated as the appellation El, God of Eternity. The name Raphael or Raphael means God has healing in Ugarit.
Wait, that's what Raphael means?
Yeah, that's what I'm reading.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I met a guy on New Year's. His name was Raphael. We called him Rafi. And that's wild.
The Gnostics believed in Raphael too. I won't even call them Gnostics, actually. Raphael was taken out of the Bible, believe it or not. He was an angel. And that's...
Why was he taken out of the Bible?
They didn't... Well, they censored through the Bibles. This wasn't only done with the Christians, but it was done earlier with the Jewish too. They just wanted to keep it... I don't even really know how to explain it properly, but they wanted to make it according to the way they wanted it to be written down. You know what I'm saying? Is basically it. Like there's a lot of books that I go through that are considered, or were at one time considered, forbidden text. But Raphael was one of the angels of, and I'm not going to say the Gnostics because it's not them, but
I just think it's lit, given the nature of the circumstances in regard, and like right after I met him, he ended up traveling to South Africa. Like it's just crazy for what it means, given the nature, like I said, the circumstance of our meeting, and for it to say God has healing, like. I don't know. That just means something to me.
Yeah. Now, Raphael, meaning God has healing in Ugarit, is attested to in approximately 1350 BCE in one of the Amarna letters. And the Amarna letters are an archive written of clay tablets, primarily consisting of diplomatic correspondence between the Egyptian administrator and its representatives in Canaan and Amuru, or neighboring kingdom leaders during the New Kingdom. And I've heard some of that, and I know they've got some good stories in there too that would be cool to go over at some point or another. So, found in Tel El Hesi from the ruler of Lachish, or Lachish is the Great One.